On the 14th night of Kurukshetra, the war had already crossed the limits of honor. Great warriors had fallen. Promises had shattered. Blood had soaked the soil. But Krishna was not watching the chaos. He was watching one man, Karna. Because Karna possessed something no one else did. A celestial weapon given by Indra himself. Vasavi Shakti, one use, one death, no escape. And it was reserved for Arjuna. If Arjuna fell, the Pandava momentum would collapse. The morale would break. The balance of the war would tilt forever. Krishna understood something most warriors did not. Wars are not decided only by strength. They are decided by timing. And the timing of that weapon was everything. Now understand Ghatotkacha. He was not a background character. He was the son of Bhima and Hidimba, born in the forest, raised among beings who did not fear the dark. He did not grow up inside palace walls. He grew up learning survival, learning adaptability, learning how to use terrain, illusion, unpredictability. Rakshasa warriors were not bound by conventional combat rules, especially at night. At night, their strength multiplied, their forms could expand, their illusions could confuse entire divisions. Their psychological presence alone could destabilize armies. Krishna knew this. That is why he waited. He waited for sunset. When the sun disappeared on the 14th day, the battlefield changed. Human warriors rely on sight, formation, coordination. Darkness weakened structure, but for Ghatotkacha, darkness was advantage. He entered like a storm. He did not announce himself, he overwhelmed. He expanded his size until he towered over elephants. He created multiple forms, forcing soldiers to strike shadows. He lifted chariots and hurled them. He rained weapons from the sky. The Kaurava army, trained for disciplined warfare, was suddenly fighting uncertainty, and uncertainty breaks confidence. Once confidence breaks, armies fall faster than bodies. This is a lesson beyond mythology. Control perception, control fear, you control the outcome. Ghatotkacha was not just fighting physically, he was breaking mental structure. Duryodhana saw divisions collapsing, veteran warriors losing coordination, elephants running without command, even hardened fighters hesitated. Fear spreads faster than fire, and that night, fear belonged to Ghatotkacha. Duryodhana turned to Karna. There was urgency in his voice. Use the weapon. Karna understood the cost. He had preserved Vasavi Shakti for one purpose, Arjuna. He knew Arjuna was his true rival. He knew that weapon guaranteed victory in that duel. If he released it now, his greatest advantage would vanish. But if he held it back, his army would disintegrate before dawn. This is where real character is tested, not in speeches, in sacrifice. Karna chose to protect his army. He lifted the divine missile. The sky split as it was released. Even experienced warriors paused. Celestial weapons are not ordinary arrows. They carry intention. They carry divine force. It struck Ghatotkacha with unstoppable precision. Now here is the moment that defines him. He understood instantly what had happened. He knew this was the same weapon meant for Arjuna. He knew what his death meant, and instead of collapsing in despair, he made a decision. He expanded. He used the final seconds of his life strategically. He enlarged his body to colossal scale, and when he fell, he directed his fall toward the densest Kaurava formations. Thousands were crushed. Even in death, he inflicted maximum damage. That is awareness. That is presence. That is mastery under inevitability. Krishna smiled, not out of indifference, out of clarity. The most dangerous weapon in the war was gone. Arjuna would not face it. The strategic threat had been neutralized. From that moment onward, Karna stood without his ultimate advantage. The war had quietly shifted, not because of a loud victory, but because of a calculated sacrifice. Karna sacrificed his winning arrow. Ghatotkacha sacrificed his life. Krishna sacrificed emotional attachment for strategic clarity. 3 different sacrifices, one night, and history moved. This is why the Mahabharata is not merely a war story. It is a study of decisions under pressure. It is a study of how destiny is shaped by moments of courage. Remember this, in life there will be moments when you cannot control circumstances. You cannot control the weapon aimed at you. You cannot control the inevitability of certain events, but you can control your response. You can control your expansion. You can control how you fall. And sometimes that control is enough to reshape the entire battlefield.